Yep. Okay. Go!
Will you hand me my screen box?
Now go preach.
The record in the matter of Brooke Ashley Church versus Bruce Hicks and potential unlimited, file number 23-01873. Top parents for the record, please.
Your Honor, Brian Lum on behalf of Tenant Bruce Hicks and served.
And your name, ma'am?
My name is Brooke Church.
Okay. And today was the date that was set for a bench trial. And do the parties meet prior to this to see if they can resolve the matter?
We did, Your Honor.
And there's been no resolution?
That's right.
Okay. And you're bringing this is your case, correct, ma'am?
Yes.
You can proceed with your proofs.
Excuse me?
You proceed with your proofs.
Okay. There should be a lot that I sent to you already.
I don't get information before the cases. You have to present it in open court. So if you said something, it would just be placed in a file. That doesn't mean I got it, because that's not how we present evidence. So now would be your time. Okay. If you want to give testimony, meaning you tell me what happened.
Yes.
And then any evidence that you have to support it, you would seek to enter that as you're giving me the evidence. And then if you had any witnesses that you wanted to testify, I can swear them in as well.
Okay.
As well. So let me first swear you in, since you're going to give testimony. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I have been living there for almost 5 years.
Living where?
At 1931 Farrell Street.
Spell this street name?
Ferrol.
Okay.
And that's in Lansing, Michigan. There were quite a few things wrong with the house. Air conditioning doesn't work. The heat doesn't work. The plumbing was really bad.
What's the matter with the plumbing?
The plumbing was, the water heater has been leaking, which is still leaking. The bathtub has been plugged, which is still plugged.
What does that mean?
The water doesn't go down all the way, so my kids can't really take a bath. They have to take the shower, and then I have to actually physically scoop the water into the toilet to flush it. And that happens with the tub and the bathroom sink.
Bathroom, tub and sink are clogged.
Yes, they have been clogged the whole time I've lived there. He has brought people to come and fix them, but they don't work within a month later. So that's just the plumbing, and the AC doesn't work, hasn't worked since I moved there. So we actually have to pay to have the portable ACs in the house. So there's been nights where I've woken up to 40 degrees with my kids, where we had to go get a hotel room. I've had to go to my mother's. I've had
40 degrees because the AC?
Because of the heat. I'm sorry, the heat is not working as well. Both of them don't work at all.
What do you mean it doesn't work? You turn the heat on, it doesn't come on?
Yes, it does. It'll like click a couple times and then it will shut off. The AC will click a couple times, shut off. He has brought people to fix both of them, but it just doesn't last. It seems like it's not really a legitimate company that comes out, more like friends that come out to fix things. That's a lot just then, but the porch, I actually called the city of Lansing. Her name is Meredith, and I called her and she came and did a rental inspection on 3/8/23, and she had a list of things for him to do. The main one was add smoke detectors. She made him come out that day and add the smoke detectors. Other than that, he had to get a permit for the water heater, which I'm not sure that he still has done because it still leaks. The eaves
Does he have a valid rental certificate?
Do I?
Do you know if he has a valid rental certificate?
He got it the day that I called her, like the day after.
So you're saying prior to that, he didn't have a rental certificate?
No.
When did you move in?
I moved in on December 3rd or 5th, 2019.
2019.
Yeah.
So December 2019 until March 2023, it's your position or understanding that he didn't have a valid rental certificate?
Correct. She actually told me that he was not registered by the city of Lansing to rent at the house.
Okay.
So she had him to do the permit for the water heater, the eaves troughs were falling down, which, the person I brought with me has replaced them, that's why I brought him.
Do you have a copy of what was given to him in citations or for him to fix?
I have it on my email, I thought that I printed it out, but it is on my email.
I don't know, it's just on your email?
Yeah, she sent it to me through an email.
Okay.
Then the outlets were supposed to be fixed, because some of the outlets, the plugs they didn't have any outlets on them.
Okay.
The breaker was supposed to be labeled, which is still not labeled at all. And then the porch was supposed to be completely fixed as well.
Just got you real quick, just a
Okay.
moment. Okay, back on the record, Ms. Church, could you find the documents you were looking for?
Yes, I did, from the Meredith. Email's not popping up, but they are downloading right now. It's quite a lot, yeah.
You said from Meredith?
Meredith D. Johnson, the code enforcer.
Okay, these documents, March 8th, 2023, compliance. I think you attached it in this file.
Yeah, she needed all of that done by a certain date, and that date was,
Since April 7th,
Yes.
2023. Okay, we have a copy in the file. You can continue.
the porch he fixed only the steps, but underneath it is still rotting. I did fall through the steps on July 29th.
Of last year.
Yes, and that's when I was 8 months pregnant with my daughter, after texting him a week before, begging him almost to fix the steps. He did not fix them for about a week afterwards. Was telling me to use the back porch. I mean, the steps were completely gone. Like, nobody could come up, nobody could go down. I couldn't take my son to school.
Do you have photos of the steps at all?
Yes. Yep, comes from there all the way. I also have photos of me going to urgent care 3
I'm
separate
sorry,
times.
what are these photos of?
These are the steps that I fell through.
Okay, we need photos printed, so you can give her those back. Cause we don't wanna go through your phone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a file where I printed a bunch of photos.
There's photos here, so let's see.
Yep, I tried to send everything ahead of time. Photos of my legs falling.
Okay, let's
photos
see
of-
here. Okay, let's see. These are the photos that you're attempting to show me?
Yes, all of that is there. Meredith.
Okay, this is the front stairs?
Yes, that's the only way to get into my house other than the back porch where I have my garden, so I don't use the back porch gate.
Okay, and is this before or after you
This
fell?
is after I fell.
What is this board, what was there maybe?
Yes, and that is,
And that was where the wood is
yes, there's
seems to be
nails
deteriorated?
everywhere, and
deteriorated?
yes,
Okay, and what is this?
this is before I fell.
Does it look like before you fell?
Yes, so it's like rotted throughout the whole thing, the nails are sticking out. There's also pictures of my legs where I've fallen down those stairs and they have cut me completely on my legs multiple
Okay,
times.
one sec, because what I gotta do is organize these.
Okay, I'm
before I
sorry.
fall. And you said the other one was after you fall.
Yes.
fell. So when you fell, this came off, is what you're
Yes,
saying?
completely
Okay.
came off. This is when I was 8 months pregnant as well,
So what were you doing when you fell down the stairs?
going to check the mail.
Oh, you were walking down the stairs? Is that a yes?
Yes, that's not it.
Is just more pictures
Yes,
before or after?
this is right afterwards.
Okay, so what we'll do is, did you provide a copy of these photos to?
Yes, I emailed it to him months
You have a
ago.
copy of these photos?
This is the first time seeing these photos.
She provided a copy to the court. This was at the last time she had a hearing, because we just attached it here in the file.
I'm pretty sure I have proof that I sent.
You don't have any, you have a email where you sent them documents?
Yes. I would have to have the person that has my baby email, because he sent him the emails through there. Emails he sent to Brian with the pictures.
You said they sent You have proof that it was already sent though?
Yeah, I sent everything.
Who sent the person out there is the one who
Yeah,
did it?
that's- yeah.
You can have them come in here.
Okay, my baby was loud, so I didn't know.
I understand, but I just want to know if they already received it, then I'm not going to cause a delay to get them this stuff.
I sent everything when I came in when I came and sent it to you, everything.
Right,
ahead
so
of
we
time.
just want to get the date so that
Okay.
he can check to make sure it was received, because
They can come in.
sometimes you could send stuff or you think you send stuff, but maybe there was too many attachments and it didn't go
We
through.
physically went up to where that was at and sent them to him as well.
My office.
Yeah, we came to your office. We came to your office. Dean, what's the day that we sent the text messages of pictures and when did we go up to his office and gave the attachments? Because they're the one that told us to come up there to give you the attachments of the pictures.
Text messages.
The text messages, pictures, the doctors, urgent care, everything. I was definitely prepared beforehand. This was 4/15 of 24.
And so you showed him where
All the pictures that you have, he has as well. Porch, my leg, the doctor's notes, Meredith's consent, the compliance dates. This is all attached, everything you got, and we physically came up to you where you work at and gave it to your assistant as well.
The ones I have.
These are all sent though, so even though you sent them all, this is all, everything's, I sent, even the gutter falling, him fixing the gutter. I mean, stuff that everything's on here.
How was it sent to him?
Through his email, through his Brian Lum email that he sent me.
She showed you where she sent it. I have no reason to dispute her email records, and she dropped off a copy to the court. Are you objecting to these as exhibits?
No, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'm gonna mark these as the plaintiff's exhibit, you doing A? Or 1, it's plaintiff's exhibit 1.
I also went to urgent care on July 17th, 2020, where I fell on the steps. And they actually noted that I fell on the steps.
I thought you fell July 29th.
I fell 3 times on the steps,
Okay.
different times.
So
So
you fell July,
17th of 2020, where I went to Lansing Urgent Care and I got crutches, a boot, and a knee splint. And that was all due to falling from the stairs. And they actually physically typed in that I fell down the stairs at urgent care. I also fell on 7/30 when I was 8 months pregnant and I couldn't get x-rays. So they just gave me a wrist splint because I caught myself like
Which
this.
year?
That was 2023.
okay, so are you saying the 3 times were July 17th, 2020, July 29th, 2023?
And then there was,
Or was the July 29th really the July 30th?
it was July 17th, 2020, I fell.
Okay,
And then I fell on 7/30 of 2023.
okay.
And then I'm pretty sure I fell on another date as well, once I find it one moment. And I also fell on February 20th of 2023.
And prior to your falling, did you notify your landlord of the issue with the stairs?
Absolutely, which is all in those text messages that you have, and I have a copy right here as well. Basically begging for him to fix the steps. There's no response.
That's a copy for,
Yeah, you guys have one too, of
okay.
the text messages.
Text messages, where do they start? Look, see, this is, I have a pile of paperwork, so I
Yeah,
have to
I know,
go
I'm
through and
sorry.
see. Is there something that
Monday, July 31st, I'm asking about the steps. This is after I fell. There is one before then when I said that the steps are rotting, you have to fix them immediately.
you're saying
before I
there's
fall.
there are dates on the text message?
Yes, yep, they're up there on the dates.
Okay, the beginning of my text messages don't necessarily show that, so let me start with what are these? I don't think these are text messages. All right, this is the first text message I have.
Okay,
It just says Shelley. Who's Shelley?
that's him under there. It also says Bruce.
Oh, what
Hicks
is
on
his
it.
name?
Bruce Hicks.
Okay, why does it say Shelley?
That was his nickname because he also was hitting me up, or he was contacting me through a text now, because we had a personal relationship, honestly, beforehand. years and years ago.
Okay,
On this text messages, he also switched his phones, so there were different numbers on there. But these ones say Bruce Hicks on here as well.
got
So
it. And what is this? This is notice by order of
That
court,
is
you
when
are
he-
directed to vacate.
That is when he tried to evict me for not paying him rent for not fixing things in the house.
Okay, so when did these text messages come through?
That is, I wanna say 2020, when he took me to court for non-payment of rent, where I had to pay all the money back to him.
Okay, I see something that's highlighted here. It says, the highlighted portion, why we about to do about the stairs.
Yeah, what are
I'm
we?
pregnant.
Yes,
Okay, LMK, which my understanding is let me know.
yes, it is.
When you're home, it says, okay, and then I see a question mark, porch. The steps on the porch are broken completely. I told you the other day.
Yes, I told him ahead of time before I fell on the porch that they were rotting. And I needed to, because I was big, so I knew that they were gonna bust on me anytime then.
I don't know what is purported to follow behind this text message, or did that conversation end here?
It probably ended there.
Okay. Okay, so then there's another portion that it looks like you highlighted a couple pages down.
Mhm.
Porch, question mark. Oh, it did end, okay. Why is this not in order then? It says, I told you the other day, the steps of the porch are broken completely. I've been telling you I can have someone do it. I've been replacing the porch for over a year now.
Yes.
And then there looks like there's no response.
Yeah, not at all.
Okay, so you did notify him about the steps, you said in writing.
Mhm.
Okay, continue.
I fell on the steps, then it took him about 7 days to come and fix the steps, where I'm also asking, is somebody coming to replace them? You said Monday, it's now Wednesday. I couldn't get in and out of my house. I run a business, holistic business from inside of my house, so my customers couldn't get in there. I sell CMOS, so I couldn't make any money during that time. I couldn't take my son to school or anything like that. That's when he finally had somebody come fix the steps, and they were actually smoking marijuana during them fixing the steps. I honestly have proof of that, but I know that I had to tell him that I was recording him first, but he was smoking during that time. And he is the witness to know that person was smoking weed as he was fixing my steps.
What else did you want to hear? So far I have the steps were broken, that you fell through them 3 times, and that you stated you notified him prior to. When were these text messages sent to him?
They say right here, if it's the same, it's August 2nd, Monday, July 31st.
No, so the ones you sent me don't have any dates on them. Maybe I need the copy you have in your hand.
Okay.
It just has times, no dates. Did you have another copy of these? Or is this my copy?
Yeah, that's my copy. I gave him a copy, and then I gave you guys a copy.
The copy that we have doesn't look like this, so let's see what we'll do. Let's see if I can make a photocopy of these. These are just text messages.
Yes.
I think you have included some notes, Lance, and if you don't have those. Okay. I think these are her notes. Can we see if we can photocopy those? I don't know if they'll get jammed because they're not really smooth.
Do I have a copy, Your Honor, so I can see what order?
Did she send you a copy?
That's the copy right there.
And then she was something like, sure, copies.
Picture copies? So she sent them to you and you printed them? If you want to use the court's ink for some more copies?
I just want to know what order they're going.
I don't know.
Yeah, the order, I think that I'm sorry about that. That's not an order.
Can you show, Miss, can you do me a favor? You want to show him the copies that we're gonna purport, because I just need to make it as an exhibit. All right, so I have the text messages that you were reading. So these are from July 31st. So these would be after you fell?
Correct.
Okay. Do you have any evidence of text messages you sent before you fell?
I think think I may have sent them, but I don't know if they have a date on those ones.
I think those are the ones I probably read, because they did not have a
Yes.
date.
Yeah, that was when I had switched phones, so.
Got it. Okay, and so the water, the heat, where did you address the heat with him?
Multiple times. There's been multiple times. I know that he's had people come out here. I actually contacted him this winter about the heat, and the AC. They just haven't worked fully since I've worked there, or since I've lived there.
But you have hot water?
Yes, we do have hot water. The water heater does leak, so it rises my BWL bill tremendously. Which I had to call BWL to ask that because it was just rising and rising. I couldn't figure out why. That is when I had the code inspector Meredith come, and she said that he had to have a permit for the water heater and install that. And she said it had not been issued and lacks inspection and approval from the city of Lansing plumbing inspector.
Okay, and do you know if this gave a compliance day of April 23? Do you know if it ever was brought into compliance?
No, it has not been, because my breakers still aren't labeled. The porch still is not up to par.
But code compliance has not been back?
She said that he was not in compliance. That he has not been in compliance with the city of Lansing.
Right, but they issued this to him, is what you're saying?
Yes,
And then they gave him a compliance due date.
correct.
And so my question is, did they come back after then to check?
No.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Just the things that have been wrong with the house is just like the eavesdrop falling, and my family having to fix things in the house. Just, it takes a while for him to answer me, respond back to me. The main reason I'm here though is for the porch. The air doesn't work and the heat doesn't work, and we've woken up with freezing cold nights with my kids, but I'm really here for the porch and me falling through the porch multiple times and when I was pregnant.
Okay, any other evidence you need to submit today, ma'am?
I'm pretty sure I gave everything to you.
Okay, did you have any other witnesses that you wanted to call?
I did want to call him up just for him fixing things in the house.
Okay.
But
What's his name?
Mark
What's his full name?
Carmack.
William Mark Carmack.
You can come to the stand, sir. Raise your right hand. Spell your last name.
CARMACK.
Okay. And Mr. Carmack, how do you know this church?
Girlfriend.
That's your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have known her for about 6 years.
For 6 years? Okay. So you're familiar with this address of 1931 Farrell?
Yep.
Okay. And so she says that you stick some things there.
Yes.
What are those things?
Well, I worked on the porch for several times, but the screws were coming out.
The screws were coming out?
Yeah. And that allowed the board to kick up because it warped. I worked on the gutter, it fell. And I put that back up, and there's been numerous things that I was capable of fixing it.
What about the heat? Are you familiar with the heat issue? I'm not sure if you fixed it. Are you familiar with the issue though?
Yes.
Okay, and has she had heat when you were there?
Yeah, certain time.
Sometimes?
Yeah,
So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't?
yeah,
Okay. And is that consistent with the air condition?
yeah, pretty much.
What about plumbing? Do you know if she had any plumbing issues?
She's had several. I tried to fix some of them, and couldn't.
Do you have any questions for him? Anything else you wanted him to testify about?
Okay, he's bought the air conditionings
Yeah.
the portable air conditioners that we have to use.
Sounds good. Mr. Lund?
Mr. Carmack, what kind of qualifications do you have as far as computers?
None.
So,
I mean, I just fixed a few things that an average person could have fixed.
yeah. So if you screw down some boards on the porch, is it possible that they cause the board to work?
They'll work when I screwed it down. That's why I screwed it down. And then that didn't even hold.
What did you use to screw down? The original screws, you're saying?
No, I put other screws in and it still, because of, right where you come up, the board was warped. So even
When
though
you
I
say
screwed it
warped,
down,
what does that mean when you say warped?
well, the board's supposed to be flat. It was raised up like this.
Okay, is that, well, okay, let me see if I have a picture.
That's about as easy as I can explain.
This is the board that you screwed down?
No, it's right. The one's right in front of where it's tore up
Okay,
on the flat part.
got it,
Those edges kept coming up because those end boards are warped.
got it, okay. Any other questions for him, Mr. Lum?
No, Your Honor. I do have a couple photos that may help.
You have what?
Couple photos that may help you.
Okay, did you want to question her? Because you can get excused from the stand, sir. She did give some testimony, so you can question her as well.
Do you have a contract with Mr. Hicks individually?
We had a lease and then we went month to month.
And who was?
Bruce Hicks, he was the landlord.
It's a company.
He switched it. It was coast to coast, and then it was something else. He's switched it on me quite a few times, but I've been in contact with all.
So if I told you that the property was owned by Coast to Coast Properties LLC,
Yes, I would. I added them as well.
I have a document there. The Lansing BSNA website. Yeah, so see witness.
Yes.
At the top of page 2, says sale date, grantor, and grantee Coast to Coast Properties LLC. Yes. So Coast to Coast Properties LLC, the owner of the property, correct?
Correct.
To admit that.
Why is this relevant?
The property owner is Coast to Coast Properties, family.
But we don't know that. Just this doesn't. You need to admit this through your own witness, not through her. She can't admit that. She doesn't know anything about who Coast to Coast Properties are. So if you want to call a witness and admit it for that purpose, I'll let you do that. But I'm not going to let you admit it through her testimony.
So you named Bruce Hicks individually, and you named Unlimited Potential LLC as the defendants on this lawsuit.
Yes, I'm pretty sure I added coast to coast as well. I added all three because I didn't know who he is at the time, honestly. And I've been in contact with all of them, so pretty sure he's the owner of both of those places.
But not the owner of the property.
But not, I couldn't hear you because your voice was dropping off. Not the owner of what?
But not the owner of the property.
He's the only person I've been in contact with the property, so I mean that's my landlord.
And you don't have a copy of the lease.
I do not have a copy of the lease. I think I had a little piece of paper that he scribbled it down when we first moved in there, which I'm pretty sure both of you guys have a copy of that, but I do not have a copy of the lease.
And you said that the first time you filed was in July of 2020. Right.
Yes.
Let me back up. The lease, you said you don't have a copy of the lease, but you have what?
It's like he wrote down a receipt of something like that we agreed.
This?
Yes, that's when I gave him $10,000 before I first moved in. I don't know if it was for him to get the house or something, but I gave him either 10 or 14 grand cash for him to hold that house for me so that I could move in before Christmas for my kids.
Okay, and I see something about, I can't make out what the amount about deposit. Is that what you're saying is 2,000?
Yes,
And then it said due 14,000?
I'm not sure.
And then it said received. I can't make up. He asked her what the handwriting is. Yeah.
It was the deposit, this is what I paid, when I first moved into the house.
Okay, what does it say on that?
It says received by Bruce Hicks, that was him.
The amount of the money?
Yes, that he had received it.
So you paid him $10,000?
To get the house, and then it was $1,000 a month to live there.
Okay.
And then he had took me to court about a year later because I had stopped paying the $1,000 because my air wasn't working, my heat wasn't working, plumbing.
He filed an eviction
He filed an eviction on me, yes.
in this court?
I'm not sure
Yes, Your Honor.
where I had to pay all the money back to him. And then it just kept happening, getting worse. You know, things are not fixing, we're getting worse. Sorry.
Okay.
So in your complaint, you had prayer for relief, you asked for $15,000 for living expenses.
Yep, for everything I've endured while living there, honestly. Paying for rooms when it was freezing. I mean, he paid for a lot of things to fix the house. My son missing school, me having to pay rides for people to just come get him because I couldn't leave.
Got documentation of all this.
You have it too. Yes, you have all the receipts. Everybody has everything they need.
You have documentation of you getting hotels?
I actually got a hotel one night and then I stayed at my mom's house for the next, and with Mark as well. He had to take my brother home though. And my mother couldn't make it. She's really, really old, so.
Really old help. What does that mean?
She couldn't drive unless we went and picked her up, so she couldn't. I mean, I don't know that she couldn't get on Zoom or anything like that, but if she was here, she would say that we stayed there multiple times. Just because my house was just too cold.
And so you had previously sent me in court some documents from Lansing Urgent Care, is that correct?
Yep. Yes.
And this one is July 17th, 2020.
Yep. All those dates are the dates that I followed from the porch.
And it says total payment 0. Did you have to make a payment to Urgent Care?
No, I did not, but I missed out on money because I couldn't walk because I had a crutches. I have Medicaid, so I didn't make any payments on what they supplied for me, like the glue, the crutches, or anything like that. But it's not like I didn't miss out on money because having that. So, and Urgent Care also documented that it was my third time falling on the porch where I lived at.
You submitted a number of handwritten receipts.
Yep, that's for when Mark came and fixed things, the AC that he bought, the gutter that he fixed. He brought all those supplies. So
Did you prepare all these yourself? Someone else prepare them?
I prepared them and he prepared them. He told me what he wanted to charge me and what he thought was right. So I mean, he got up on a ladder and did it, like he risked it. He's very old and tender himself. And he got up there and fixed those because Bruce would come and fix my gutter. And I mean, I couldn't even walk out my front door. Or there's the multiple times that the drains didn't fix and we couldn't even take baths. Both of my kids couldn't take baths. And he had to get a bucket on his hands and knees and fix the stuff. So I definitely wanted him to charge me for labor.
You wanted who to charge you for
I
that?
wanted Mark to charge me for the labor because, I mean, he's old and he didn't have to do those things. So it was hard on him, you know, getting down, trying to fix my garbage disposal, trying to snake the drains in the bathroom. So
Some of these don't have dates, don't have a year.
they might not, but they might not. But they're all within me living there.
These are all sequentially numbered. Did you make them all at the same time?
I did not. It's just, I went
What are
back to
those?
back on the receipt, on the receipts.
I don't think I have those.
It's a receipt book, so I mean, I went.
Where's the receipts from? From you paying rent?
No, from things being fixed in the house, like him grabbing the nails and the gutter utensils and everything like that, so.
Well, that's evidence that you would probably want to show to the court. I don't have a copy of it.
Oh, yeah, they're right here. Mark filled out a few of these too. And by multiple ACs, the windows, the eaves trough. He actually paid $1,000 for the fireplace that we have now. And that was from a garage sale from Margaret that he bought the fireplace for. Space heaters, nails, the gas. He also lives an hour away. The wood, the porch fixings. I don't know if she wants to take copies of these. Each time that he came to fix the porch, he put down gas for him coming. Furnace filters was, my mom bought multiple furnace filters thinking that would help with the heat. Bruce did buy a couple, but my mom bought way more. Carbon monoxide detectors because Meredith said he only needed to bring smoke detectors, but I'm pretty sure the ones that he brought maybe had carbon monoxide detectors with it. I'm not sure, but we just got one just to be safe because my kids were there. He bought a snake to fix the bathroom drain twice, snaked out the drain. He also bought and replaced placements for door springs, 2 for the front door and 1 for the back door. These are the receipts right here.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I'm just reading through these messages that you have, and it sounds like you've had some trials in this home. Why won't you move?
I love the area. I love my neighbors. I love my area there. I really love the home. Like I love my neighbors. My neighbors love me. It's a great home if it would be fixed up. You know, if it's just a few things, if my landlord would be a landlord, it would be fine. I wouldn't mind paying rent the $1,000 if my AC worked properly, you know, if my drains were fixed, if the things were fixed. I really love the area. My son goes to school at Pam's right there. It's a great area.
Anything else, Mr. Long?
You said rent's $1,000 a month?
Yes.
And when's the last time you paid rent?
The day that I took him to court was the last time I told that I would ever put money in his hand.
So that's been almost going on.
Absolutely.
Is there a current eviction?
Which my mom also has the money in the escrow as well.
You named unlimited potential as a defendant, is that correct?
Yes.
And you didn't name unlimited potential Inc. or unlimited potential LLC or?
I'm not sure if I did add LLC or not.
Would you be surprised to know that there are 14 entities registered with the state of Michigan that would be named unlimited potential?
Pretty sure I did a limited potential LLC.
I don't have any. Oh, one more question on the sink. Have rocks in the sink.
I did have rocks, and when he first came, he told me that was a problem, so I took the rocks out.
There are rocks in the
Yeah, I had like little big decorative rocks in the sink, and then he told me that it could have caused the first plumbing error with many, and so I took them out.
I don't understand what kind of rocks are in the
It was
sink.
like decorative little pebble rocks in there.
In the sink?
Yes. But once he told me that could be a reason of why the plumbing was like that, I took them out. But that was the first time. That was years ago. I mean, he had like 10 people to fix the plumbing after that.
Were you there when they snaked the drain?
Which times?
First time.
I was there for every time they snaked the drain.
And what did they pull out of the drain?
Hair, mud. If they pulled out a rock, I would hope that you guys would have proof of that they didn't pull out a rock out of the drain.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Is there anything else, Maria, that you wanted to add to support your claim?
Me?
Yes.
No, Your Honor, I think that covers it.
Okay, Mr. Long, does you intend to follow instance?
I would like to file a motion for directed verdict, Your Honor.
You can proceed.
Your Honor, pursuant to MCR 2.516, we are moving to or request collective verdict. The plaintiff in this case named Unlimited Potential as the defendant didn't name Unlimited Potential LLC or Unlimited Potential Inc. Further, there's been no evidence presented that Unlimited Potential has any duty to the defendant or to the plaintiff. Further, Mr. Hicks individually is a member of Unlimited Potential and Coast to Coast Properties, but he doesn't individually own the property.
Doesn't individually own the property, meaning it's under a LLC, is that what you're saying?
Correct.
But that doesn't mean that someone can't sue him in his individual capacity though, correct?
That's correct. Do that.
Okay, but you don't believe she's established that duty by text messages between her and him directly, not an agent. Receipts where she handed him money directly, not an agent. Right, but he acted in his personal capacity, he accepted that money and he's texting her directly, correct?
I would argue that he's acting in his capacity as a member of the company.
Okay, so then so you can sue a member of a company and its agents. Correct?
I mean, the purpose of a company is to
shield you from liability, and so in order to do that, typically take certain additional measures to continue to shield your liability. Typically, most people who operate with LLCs hire an agent to manage back and forth. I mean, these are pages of back and forth about rents and you fix this and what time are you going to be gone? Or okay, I'll come over and sorry that your aunt passed. This is not an agent. And then also she's represented, they also had a personal relationship prior to this. I have no reason to dispute that after reading the text messages.
further in her prayer for relief. She asked for $15,000 for relocation fees. She hasn't not a right claim, and she demonstrated that is $15,000 the damages. The properties, purchase the property.
So it goes towards property and then your voice trailed off. You said what?
Purchased the property in December of 2020. Some of these matters predate December of 2020.
Some of the matters predate December of 2020.
Correct.
But she testified that when she moved in, she dealt directly with them, correct?
That's what she testified, yes.
And she presented a receipt where she gave him the money when she moved in.
Didn't own the property at that time.
He didn't own the property, but he accepted her rent and entered into a rental agreement with her? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't know what that receipt is.
Sounds like it's a question of fact. Motion for directed verdict is denied. You can continue with your proofs.
Number 6.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. You can have a seat, Mr. Hicks. So you can question your client.
Mr. Hicks, are you a member of Christmas Property?
Hi.
And if I show you this BSD report from the City of Lansing, show the date that Christmas Properties purchased.
Yeah.
Purchased it.
Yes.
On the top left of that page, can you tell me what it says?
Sell date, sell history, sell date, 12/2/20.
And is that the date that Coast to Coast Properties bought the property?
Yes.
That's exhibit A on it.
Any objection to defendants A? Show it to her, what it was. What is this? It's the City of Lansing property records that they asked you about when it showed, that Mr. Hicks purchased the property.
Coast to coast property, coast to coast property.
Okay, what am I? Okay.
I'm asking if you have any objection to that as an exhibit.
I have no objection.
Okay. Defendants A is admitted.
Those properties is not a party to this. Yes.
I don't believe so.
I also came back.
Whoa. They didn't do that to you when you spoke, did they?
No, they didn't. I apologize.
And can you have your client repeat his answer?
To your knowledge, is those properties a party to this case?
They are not, to the best of my knowledge.
And unlimited potential is named as a defendant in this case, is that correct?
Yes.
And if I just ask you a printout from the state of Michigan's website, and unlimited potential. And this state of Michigan printout, the first entity named unlimited potential, can you tell me where that address is?
357 Stolen, that's Labor D Road in Adrian, Michigan.
And are you related to that entity? Do you have an entity named unlimited potential?
No, I'm not a member.
Do you have an entity named unlimited potential LLC?
I'm a member of the agent for the potential LLC.
Move to admit as defendant's exhibit B.
And do you have any objection to defendant's exhibit B, which is the license and regulatory affairs business entities results? I think he showed you earlier.
Oh, no, I have no objection to that.
That will be admitted as B. And the, Mr. Hicks, you said you are an agent or a member of, you said Unlimited Potential LLC.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, and obviously there's two that indicate that one has a comma, correct?
That's correct, yeah.
What address would be the one that you're associated with?
Do you generally have a process for when people have issues, maintenance issues?
Yeah.
And what's that process?
They reach out via text message or email. What's the name?
You said they request what?
What's the name?
Maintenance repair? Before we get there,
I don't want to yell into the mic. So.
that you should talk into the mic, but that's really for her though. This, I can hear you just like he would hear you, but I have that blocking.
Okay, makes sense. I just didn't want to blow.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
I think and she'll let you know if she can't hear you. But I tend to have an issue with because of this.
Yes, you're right.
And so then submit a maintenance request. You are a member of this Unlimited Potential LLC, and are there other members?
Yes, there are other members. So
Okay.
the way Coast to Coast Property owns the property. Potential LLC has a property management agreement with them.
Okay, so you're part of the property management.
I'm property management. Yes, I'm
Got
property management for Limited Potential LLC.
And do you know the party that you bought the property from?
I don't know her.
It's a third party.
It's a third party.
I thought he didn't own the property.
That Coast to Coast Properties bought the property from.
It's a third party.
He just said, he answered your question.
Fine.
He asked him, does he know where he bought the property from? He said Coast to Coast Property, or a third party.
Third party. He bought it. He didn't know the prior owner.
Do you have any ownership interest in this property, sir?
I don't understand your question. What do you mean?
That's a broad question. You have any ownership interest?
I'm a member of
Of what?
LLC, Your Honor.
Which LLC?
Couple of them.
Coast to Coast? Are you a member?
I'm a member of Coast to Coast.
You wanna play in the court with me today with the games and the wordplay?
Are you asking me?
Oh, you're
Because
right.
I asked before. And your position is that he's not an owner. I asked you, were you the owner? You said you weren't the owner. You were a member of Unlimited, and it's like you're just the manager. But actually you do have an ownership interest in this, correct?
In what, Your Honor? And I'm not
In
trying to
the
put words in.
address located at 19. I want the records of who's a member of Coast to Coast Properties and who's a member of Unlimited Potential LLC.
I don't have those with me.
That's okay, because it's 4:14. I'm going to adjourn for that purpose.
All right.
But there's more things that I want too, so he can continue answering questions or asking questions.
So are you a member of Coast to Coast Properties LLC?
Yeah.
And are you a member of Unlimited Potential LLC?
I'm an agent.
And are there other members of Coast to Coast Property?
Yes.
And are there members? So you're not a member of Unlimited Potential.
I'm an agent.
And in January 2024, did we file suit against this church for?
That was 2023. I don't think, was it 2024?
That's correct.
But what's the relevance of the eviction?
It shows the property owner and the parties that were involved in that case.
The court can take judicial notice. We're actually questioning about how people get stuff serviced. That's what I want to hear about.
Stuff service.
Yeah, he said that they submit a request for maintenance.
And have you previously done maintenance at 1931 Carroll? Have maintenance completed there?
Maintenance and pension fees.
You received maintenance requests.
Maintenance and pension fees.
Gave you a list of those. Prepare a list of maintenance that has been completed. I present this to John. So on this list, you go through the maintenance that you've done before having completed.
Looks like there was a water heater installed 12 of 20. Commercial porch repair was done 12 of 20. Rental service repair 12 of 20. Drain with snakes 2 of 20. Let me go through all of these or?
Yeah.
All right. Drain snake 2 of 21. Furnace, furnace individual was sent out there 3 of 21. No call, no show. 4 of 21, no call, no show. Furnace repaired 3/6/21. Ducts were clean 11/1. 21 drains were clean 8/19/22. Water heater and AC repair 7/29. 22 plumbing repair 2/3/23. Drain cleaning for 12/23. Plumbing repair for 1/23. Porch repair 7/9/23. Porch repair 8/2/23.
And did you prepare this list?
Yeah. Well, I have some of it. I gave the information and it was prepared by someone.
Move to admit garage.
Oh, he just gave testimony. I don't know that this is a document that's kept in the regular course of business, so we can't admit it. But he testified to it, so that's the evidence we needed.
That you are.
I can keep it from my recollection. Thanks.
And in regards to the, well,
I'd like to hit on something. Can I elaborate on the rental certificate?
Yes, they'll question you about it, but you just gave him a heads up that he should question you about it.
and what would you like to say about that?
So
No, wait a minute. He's the attorney, not you. You have to ask him a question, and you know that.
There's been testimony about the rental certificate. It said that the inspector has come to the property. Is there currently a rental certificate for the property?
to the best of my knowledge, there is a rental cert out there. The way the city of Lansing works, you go and you pay the fee. They allow you to have a tenant in there, come out and do their inspection. Well, before they come out and do their inspections, to allow the landlord to, or the company, whichever, the property to be rented. I don't feel like I'm yelling. Am I yelling at you?
You're not.
Okay. So that the property can be rented. No one can control when an inspector comes out. Your duty is to go and pay
speed downtown, and that's what was.
And have you received any documentation from the inspector or city of Lansing at all?
I received we received a list of repairs. It was a very short list, maybe 3 or 4 things on it. I think it was a water heater permit that needed to be put in because they were not doing inspections in 2020 because of COVID. So you were not able to get an inspection on HVAC or plumbing. So we cross-reference with the City of Lansing code compliance and building safety office. So that's probably why there was no cert on the green sticker. Once we're made aware of that, the service was completed. There should be a green sticker on it.
You said a green sticker on where?
It should be a green sticker on the city's.
On their website, you mean?
I guess that's where it's held or on the property. I'm not sure. Brian Shields. I actually met Brian Shields out there myself. Brian Shields.
Talk to him about the water heater or about other issues?
Nope, he just came off of the water heater.
And when was that?
Sometime in 23, early spring.
Approximately a year ago.
Yeah.
A little more than a year ago.
Yeah.
And there's been talk about the porch, right, pictures.
Oh, and one more thing, this property was so dilapidated and broken down with all the slumlords around and all the stuff going on. They would have come back out and red tagged this house, which would have forced everyone in the house to leave. That's not the case. So everything that was requested, referencing the stairs.
Yeah, regarding the stairs, did Ms. Church contact you to fix the?
She also said she fell on them in 2019. The property wasn't owned by Coast to Coast in 2019.
I don't think she said 2019. She said 2020. And twice in 2020.
Yonder, do you have those dates in 2020?
Yeah, she said July 17th, 2020.
Property wasn't owned by Coast to Coast Properties then. Coast to Coast Properties owned it in December of 2020, Your Honor.
Okay, so let me back up then.
Yeah.
When she moved in, why did she pay you the money to move in?
Because I'm an agent for that company. I handle the leasing, showing the properties, and the property management.
For Coast to Coast Properties.
Or Unlimited Potential. Limited Potential has a property management agreement with Coast to Coast Properties.
You own both.
I'm a member of both. Well, a member of one, an agent of the other.
So you have ownership interest in both. That's why she paid you the money, correct?
Your Honor, you have to excuse my ignorance. I don't understand if one is one and one is the other. I know I'm an agent, so I don't want to say I'm an owner.
Usually when you say agent, that means I own it, but I say you're going to represent me. That's an agent. Not I own it and I put it in an LLC. So just because I'm not referring to what the Licensing and Regulatory Affairs website says, registered agent, because the registered agent is generally the owner.
Or a manager.
The manager can't go to Licensing and Regulatory Affairs and register something. The owner can. And
to the best of my knowledge, when you fill out the form, it says registered agent. That's what it is, not owner.
Right. And Mr. Lum can't go and take a business or company that you or property that you own and register it. The owner would have to do that.
Register it.
So I didn't ask you were you considered the registered agent, or I asked you did you have an ownership interest? Meaning, do you have any ownership entity in this? And if you are the owner that created the LLC, and if we're going to get technical, I can require those documents to be brought in. I already pulled enough of them off of Lyra, but I'm asking for him to bring them to the court so I know who owns the property.
Sure.
And I know the addresses are the same for the registered agent for both Unlimited LLC and the Coast to Coast. So we're dealing with the same ownership here.
So as a registered agent, is that what I would answer?
No, I didn't ask you were you the registered agent. I asked you, did you have ownership interests in the property?
Brian, you gotta help me. I don't understand.
He can't help you out. He can't explain my questions.
Well, maybe I don't understand them, Your Honor, because the way I was told that this needs to be filled out is you are the registered agent.
Why did you go fill it out?
That's what my attorney told me to do.
Your attorney told you to go and fill out paperwork.
Yes,
To do what?
to register as an agent for the LLC
Because you wanted to start an LLC.
because it needed to be an LLC.
No, you wanted to start an LLC, correct?
I was told I needed an LLC.
To put your properties in the LLC, correct?
No, because unlimited potential is the property manager.
That's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking about coast to coast because you're listed on coast to coast too.
Yes, coast to coast. I'm on.
And you said the owner of the property was coast to coast. Correct?
Right, and I'm a member of that. Yeah.
What title do you hold as a member?
Just a member.
You're a board member?
No, I think it's a managing member.
How many managing members are there?
I don't know off the top of my head, and I don't want to lie.
You don't know off the top of your
I
head?
don't.
Okay. I need the documents for the LLC for coast to coast properties, listing the all of the members. And I need the documents for unlimited potential LLC, listing all of the members. You know business transactions and organization, business orgs, just like I know business orgs. So I'm not gonna go back and forth with a play on words because it doesn't protect you in court. It doesn't even give the appearance that you're being forthcoming. I understand, yeah, because if I ask a question and I feel like you're trying to skirt around, well, I'm an agent, who started the property? Who the company, property management company, who founded it?
I would say group of guys and myself.
So there's other people listed. You and a group of guys started this company and you wouldn't registered it as an LLC.
Your Honor, I mean, I'm a member of.
I'm asking, that's not what I don't care about what you remember of a lot of things. I'm asking specifically about this.
I would have to pull up the document.
You don't remember, so you want to sit in court under oath and tell me that you started a company, you don't remember who you're a member of the company with?
This is what I'm saying, Your Honor. Instead of shooting from the hip, I would rather be 100% sure. Because I don't want to lie under oath. If I say no, and it is, then I'm lying. If I say yes, and it isn't, then I'm lying.
So you have business partners and you don't remember who they are, is what you're saying?
No, I don't know which companies you're with, right? So I'm a member of a lot of different LLCs. So instead of me saying yes to a specific one, I would rather pull up the document that's on Lara and say, hey, yep, this is it. Or pull up the operating agreement, which we can produce. It's not a problem. I just don't want to give you the wrong information. That's it. There's no trying to scheme around it. I just don't want to give you the wrong information.
Okay, and I've asked your attorney to provide those documents. Mr. Lum will remember to get you those documents.
Sure.
Back to the stairs.
How would you like to get those documents right now?
What do you mean? How about you can either drop them off like you would drop off other evidence, but I'm going to hold another hearing date because it's 4/29 and you haven't finished questioning, and she has the right to question him and then give rebuttal evidence. So you can probably just bring it back when you come.
I'm not trying to be the difficult witness. I just don't want to perjure myself, right? That's what that is.
It's correct. You should tell the truth, but it's concerning. I think it raised a red flag for me when I ask someone who owns a business and that's registered and they don't remember who they own the business with.
Fair.
That's the concern for me.
Fair.
But nonetheless, back to the stairs, because I want to know, say you got questions about the stairs. Were the stairs repaired?
They were.
When were they repaired?
The stairs were repaired
7/29 and 8/2.
There were pictures
7/29 and 8/2.
of 23. So on that document, you told Mr.
Yeah, I
Lum
still
you
have.
need
Yep, I have. I'm trying to see.
all the way at the bottom.
Okay. Is that what says porch repair?
Yes.
7/29/2023, which she alleged she fell on the 30th, and then you came back on the 2nd to repair them?
Yes.
Okay, why did you have to repair them on the 29th and then again on the 2nd?
Well, because she said they were broken.
Okay. Okay, why,
Maybe I didn't answer your question.
No, you answered my question
Okay.
then.
Okay.
I see 2 porch repairs, and so I'm trying to get a timeline because in between there, she fell. So I'm wondering why you thought you were coming back out. That's why I asked. I can't take her word over. I gotta ask you.
Right.
Okay, okay. And then I have, allegation that she fell, in in February of 2023. Was there a repair done around there? Cause I don't see that listed.
I have to go, I don't see it on here, but I don't necessarily know that we were made aware of an issue in February.
Okay. I see here, though, that there was a brand new heater installed December 2020 and initial porch repair December 2022.
No, December 20.
I meant as well.
Okay,
December 2020.
that's fine.
So with those, she says she fell in July of 2020. So
You said July of what again?
she said July of 2020, meaning before December.
Right.
She says she fell. And then I see that you put initial repair December 2020. So your testimony is that once you took ownership, which you say the company that you are a member or agent of took ownership in the end of 2020,
Yes.
and then you made an initial repair, is what you're
Yes.
saying. And so why did you make that initial repair?
God, it was 4 years ago. I couldn't tell you.
So how do you know that? Where did you get these records from?
Menards receipts or labor receipts.
Okay. So you had some receipts. Do you have them still? Because they should be provided to your attorney for evidence.
I have to look through what I submitted.
Right. Because that is evidence to be submitted. This is just testimony. Yeah. So I could go and type up everything you said today too and present this. That's not something that you keep in the regular course of business. But receipts that when I bought this property, I went out and got a new water heater and install it. And she's saying there's a water heater issue. Well, that's something you need to submit.
Fair.
You can continue, question your counsel.
I had some pictures of the porch. I present them to the witness, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
Present pictures of the porch to the witness.
Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you again, what is your ownership interest in coast to coast property?
This one is from 16, so I'd have to make sure that nothing changed. This one is from 23, so it's probably accurate. I don't know about it.
Did you sell a coast to coast property from 2016 to now?
Let me see. Coast to coast property not sold. I thought this was unlimited potential. I'm sorry. So no, they're both the same.
So again, you're the owner of coast to coast properties?
Yes.
Thank you.
And I had some pictures. There's 2 that look like they may be before pictures. So,
All of these are before. And then the last 3 are after.
and when was this repair made?
7/29 and 8/2.
Are these the same pictures she admitted already? Or
I think it was
They are not.
slightly different.
oh, okay. So you said that this was repairs, it was that what you did 7/29 and 8/2, correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
I should ask, which ones was 7/29 and which ones was 8/2?
So this is 7/29.
The first
The first
2 were 7/29. Okay, I can see that. And then afterwards you went, because it looks like it's brand new wood. Is that?
That is correct.
Got it. Okay. And you want to admit these as defense? Are we at D?
Your Honor.
Any objection to the admission of these exhibits? All right. Yes. What's the objection?
He fixed the steps, yes, but underneath is where it was rotting as well.
Okay, but that doesn't. So then it could be admitted. That doesn't.
Okay.
That's not an evidentiary exhibit.
Okay.
You would be required to provide evidence that disputes that this was sufficient after he did that. Okay.
Okay.
There's also been discussion about staying on the porch. So the most recent time you went out there was July 2023 and August of 2023. Is that correct?
Can't recall if I went or someone else went. I believe her testimony that it was someone else who made the repair.
But the repairs were made in July.
That's what she confirmed that the repairs were made and then the pictures are here.
We're still talking about the repairs to the stairs, correct?
Correct. And prior to that, What kind of repairs were made to the stairs?
It looks like,
The porch?
2020, there was an initial porch repair.
Do you recall what that was? Or-
I really don't, you know,
And is there another,
but I mean, there was a 3-year gap, right, between initial porch repair and then the one that we had made. So whatever repair was made, it was significant repair to hold up for 3 years.
I think there's been prior testimony, but there is another entrance next to the house. Is that correct?
There's 2 exits, and egress and ingress. There's 2 at the home.
And this is the front,
This is a set of front stairs.
and there is also a back.
There is.
In July of 2022, did you hire a heating and cooling company to water heater and the?
May I see that receipt?
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like this receipt is from Sikarsky's Heating and Cooling, is that correct?
Which is a licensed refrigerant company or HVAC company in the state of Michigan. Not just a friend of mine who's coming over to fix them.
They work on that.
It looks like water heater and AC not working. Water heater was working. Apparently, pilot was out and it was consuming energy. But we light it. AC not working. Found low refrigerant. Added 1 can, some stuff, and another can or some stuff. So I don't know where they at. But number 3, R14.
And so that would have been in response to a call from premise
Correct.
church. To admit as exhibit D, Your Honor.
exhibit D. I'm sorry?
Is it D or E?
Are we at? Yeah, the last one was D.
Last one was,
Oh, yeah, this is D. No, it's because. Any objection to this receipt as defense E?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, E's admitted.
and another receipt here. Can you tell me what this receipt is?
This is Michigan Drain, which is also another licensed and insured company in the state of Michigan. Looks like they were called out to clear some obstructions in the main line.
And would this have been in response to a call from this church?
That is correct.
So to admit as exhibit F, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
This would be defense F.
And the date on that.
8/19/22.
Tell me what this receipt is for.
This is from Whole Plumbing, which is another licensed company.
What's the date on this one?
2/3/23.
What did they do?
Looks like they removed the shower handle. It's no dripping at this time, so I would assume it was a leak.
And this also would have been in response to a request from this church.
That's correct. On 2/3/23.
Any objection?
No, no.
G.
Defense G.
And can you tell me where this receipt is from?
Michigan Drain, another company that's licensed in Michigan.
The date on the service.
12/23.
And what was the service address?
Another, service address 1931 Farrell Street, Lansing, Michigan 48910.
And what did they do on April 12th?
Looks like they snaked the drains, removed the toilet, and reset the toilet, camera the line. And I think at this point, it was requested that the line be camera to figure out why obstructions.
So does that mean they physically put like a camera down?
That is correct.
Yeah. Okay.
And at that time, the thing we found was a bunch of
There and
negative.
No.
There were rocks and pebbles in there. There was in the drain in the tub. There was almost like potpourri. It was hard. So
this is in the tub drain?
this was in the tub drain. So they snaked. So what we requested at that time, because since I think the 3rd or 4th snake in less than a reasonable amount of time. So at that time I said snake laundry, pretty much every water point in the house. That's why this one is a little higher than the previous ones. And that's when it was found out that there were obstructions in there, rocks, and almost like he said, a potpourri substance.
Is this, so previously when she made a statement about, you telling her she couldn't have rocks in the sink, is that what you're referencing?
No, that was the first one.
Oh, okay,
Then this happened in April of 23.
got it. But I mean, the same type of materials, what I just,
Yes.
you're referencing that? So when the first one was that issue involving the sink?
That was sink only, Your Honor.
Okay, and so then when the tub issue was made, you're finding a similar substance?
They found similar substances and some potpourri. That's what he used. I don't know what he meant by that. But it wasn't dirt and it wasn't rusted pipes like you would normally find after snaking a drain.
Got it.
So based on the requests made to you, how quickly do you try to get to those requests? Do you have a standard procedure?
We reach out almost immediately. The hard part is getting them out. I can't control it. So if it's a day, it's a day. If it's 2 days, 2.
During the course of Ms. Church's tenancy at this property, and your best to address all of the maintenance complaints.
I think they've been addressed and done in a timely manner.
I just have a question, and she testified that she's having issues with her heat. Are you aware of that?
Heard about a heat issue. Sent the heat guy out. That was the last we knew about any heat issue.
So that was the last you knew about it?
However, Your Honor, there was some text messages that came through sometime early February. It was
of this year or last year?
I don't have the text message read that she sent. She requested, she said, hey, it's cold in here. I referenced water heater. She said it's cold. Did you get my text? I said no. 2 days after that, she said it's fixed. So whatever date that happened, someone went out there and took care of whatever issue because she said it's fixed. That was the last time I heard
about a heat issue.
And I think 48 hours is pretty reasonable in the state of Michigan to get someone out and fix it to the tenant's liking when they confirm that it's fixed for a heat issue.
Okay, so since that issue, you've not been aware of any heat issue?
I've not received a text message about any heat issue.
Come on.
All this time, Your Honor.
So typically, she would question you now, but it's 4:51. So I need to let you all go. I'll get you a new date to come back so that she can question you. I don't know if you were going to ask or call any other witnesses. Okay. And so if you're not going to call any other witnesses, then if you have any other rebuttal evidence means anything to rebut what came out from them. You would need to present that at the next court hearing, and then I'll hear both of you all arguments at the next court date, okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's see. I don't need the documents, just whatever rebuttal evidence you're going to present, and understanding you're suing him. So it's your burden of proof. He doesn't have to present evidence. You have to present evidence that you were wronged in some way, because that's what the court has to consider to grant you any relief if you are owed relief. Otherwise, if you don't present evidence, that's why the only reason why I denied his motion was because his question, when I questioned him, it created a question of fact. So now I got to proceed to flush out the question of fact. But it's your responsibility to present evidence, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Do I send that evidence to him as well?
At this point, you can bring it to court so that we don't make sure, and bring copies so that we make sure he gets it and we make sure I have it. Don't drop it off.
Okay.
So that it just ends up in a file.
Okay.
That you present evidence on the open record, okay?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
You have got to be kidding me. What is going on today? This is a joke. Today is an absolute joke. We need an interpreter.
I need an interpreter when I cannot express myself sometimes.
Yeah. Oh my God, sir, put that cigarette out. I don't give a crap that you are outside of your, this, what is wrong with everybody today? You know what, Miss Green, we're gonna start bringing people in first. People gonna learn how to act in a courtroom.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Ma'am? Ma'am? Can you hear it? Okay.
I have no patience for that. And trust me, at the end of the day, I'm sitting up here, I'm the one that needs a drink.